Hello and welcome to Computology Academy, and today we are going to discuss about a very important topic, that is CPEC, in which there is a good news for India. And why it is a good news for India? Because time and again India has protested against the CPEC project because it violates the territorial integrity of India and POK, through which the CPEC project passes, is the integral part of India, and that is why India had protested time and again. But now, without any intervention from India, the CPEC project is in peril, and now the leadership of China, especially the Xi Jinping, is thinking that what will happen to CPEC project. And there are various issues like corruption in the administrative system of Pakistan, in the Pakistani armies. Many of the authorities or the executives of the project who are from Pakistan are siphoning off the money that is provided by China for the development of CPEC project. They are creating their own properties out of Pakistan. So such kind of things were already going on. But now two bigger issues have cropped up in front of the CPEC project, through which it is getting delayed time and again, and it has become difficult both for Pakistan and China to deal with it. And let us have a look first of all about the aspirations of China. So, Xi Jinping became the General Secretary of the Chinese Communist Party in 2012, and since 2013 he is serving as the President of China. So, he became a kind of supreme leader of China. However, before this time even he was contemplating to make China a world power. So already these were the issues which were on his cards, that whenever he will become the president of China, he will do such kind of things. And he was thinking that I am the muscle man, I am the world power, and I will make China a world power because I am having too much of economic strength within my nation, too much of population, too large market, and such kind of things were already with China. And because of that he was thinking that I can do anything, I will make China the world power, even bigger than America. However, what happened with the passage of time? Now he is thinking that what has happened, what I have gained. Already he has ruined China to a great extent, and even after the corona pandemic, the situation of Chinese economy is getting deteriorated day by day, because many of the perception against China has developed in many of the nations. Many of the people throughout the world are boycotting the Chinese apps, Chinese goods, Chinese products, etc. So the market share of China is getting decreased day by day. Many of the bigger companies are trying to move their manufacturing hubs out of China, which will again be a dent on the Chinese economy. So such issues are creating too much of devastation for China, and Xi Jinping's aspiration to make China a world power is already under a threat, under a peril, right? So let us see what Xi Jinping was trying to do. So here there are four figures. Here in the first figure you can see that there were various ports which were being developed by China in the Indian Ocean region. And the Indian Ocean is the only ocean which is named after any country, that is India. And from this it is quite evident that what kind of dominance India had since ancient time in this region. We know about the navy that was with the Chola administration, Chola Empire. They dominated this whole region. They had attacked many of the neighboring countries using their naval power, and they had established their rule over there. So India is dominant in this region. However, China tried to encircle India through this project, which is also known as String of Pearl project. And according to this project, there were many ports which were going to be developed by China, and in the list there were Myanmar, Chittagong port in Bangladesh, Hambantota port in Sri Lanka, Maldives, Oman, Gwadar, Djibouti, Kenya, Tanzania, Seychelles. So all these were over there. However, in most of the ports, the investment made by China is stuck. Even the Hambantota port has been given to China by Sri Lanka on a 99 years lease when Sri Lanka was unable to repay the loan. Likewise, most of the ports are not being profitable for China, and Chinese investment is stuck in these ports. And in Maldives, what happened after the change in the administration, change in the leadership, they have distanced themselves from China. So again, their investment is stuck over here. So what they had intended to achieve from these ports, they are not achieving it. So the whole system is at peril. Again, here we will discuss this CPEC project in detail, which starts in Xinjiang province from Kasgar and goes up till Gwadar in Baluchistan. So we will go through it in detail. This is the major topic on which we are going to talk, because it is a major concern for India also that it should fail, right? So that is the thing. And again, China had invested great amount of money in African continent, and here the shade of the color shows the amount of investment made by China in different countries. However, what happened? Most of the projects in which China had invested in the African countries have failed, and many of them are going to fail. And in these regions also, China is trying to get back its investments profit by acquiring the projects, by taking them on lease, by taking the mining lease or whatever it is. And now the countries have come to know that taking loan or aid from China is not going to be fruitful, because it is a kind of capitalist imperialism, right? But India is also investing to a great extent in the African continent, but the mode or the method or the terminologies on which India invests in the African countries is different from China. What happens? China invests in these countries to develop any project, but in those projects the workers, the executives, the laborers, etc., as well as the material is used in them, equipments used in them, all are sourced from China. So what happens? China gives the money in the name of project and take back the same money back to China in the name of labor cost, project cost, material cost, etc. So what happens? The project is only over there in that country, but no income is generated from that locally, because the Chinese projects does not employ the local people. So no remuneration is for local people. So ultimately what happens? The project gets developed, but the economy, local economy of that nation does not get benefited because of that project. And that is why most of the nations are nowadays reluctant to take loan from China to develop any kind of project, because they are not going to get benefited by the employment that is going to be generated because of that project. That thing is happening. Now this is the Belt and Road Initiative. Basically here China wanted to develop the old Silk Route and enhance its evacuation of the manufactured goods from China and increase its trade in different regions. So here they had started the project. One was the sea route of the Belt and Road Initiative, and one was the railroad route. However, here also after Corona pandemic, most of the Eastern European countries and European countries are protesting against the project. Basically the local citizens are protesting against the Chinese investment in this project, as well as in many regions because of the local issues, because of the terrorism or various other factors. the project is either getting delayed or have got halted. So again the Chinese investment is stuck, and this is causing the frustration for Xi Jinping also, and the Chinese administration also, Chinese leadership also. However, let us come to the CPEC project. So here the CPEC project was one of the pet project of Xi Jinping himself, because he wanted to ensure the economic activity, increase in the economic activity in the Western China, Xinjiang and Western Chinese region. So he had projected this DPR was made that they will develop a road and railway network from Kasgar in Xinjiang province to Gwadar port in Arabian Sea coast. So this was going to travel through POK, here Gilgit Baltistan, then Islamabad, Lahore, and thereafter close to Karachi and goes to Gwadar port, and various distribution lines, industrial areas, railway lines, etc. were also planned in this project. However, you can see that this passes through POK, against which India is protesting time and again. India is quite vocal against this project because it passes through POK and that is against our territorial integrity. And as well as it passes very close to the Indian border till Jaisalmer. Here till Jaisalmer it passes very close to the Indian border, which is again a threat to Indian security, national security, because this road and railway network will provide very huge efficiency in mobilizing the armed forces along the Indian borders by China as well as Pakistan, and it will become a threat for India in case of war, right? So this was the thing for which India was concerned. However, this whole project has got stuck because of their own deeds. First of all, the Pakistani officials are very corrupt and the various other things are there. However, why does China is developing this CPEC project? Why China was so keen to develop this project? First of all, short route. Basically what happens, whenever a trade goes through the Strait of Hormuz from here to China through sea route, through encircling India, thereafter Strait of Malacca, thereafter South China Sea to Hong Kong, Shanghai or Beijing, then what happens, it takes a distance, it makes to travel them a distance of 12,900 kilometer. You can say approximately 13,000 kilometers. However, if this project starts to function, it becomes functional, this CPEC project, then straight away the ships will land to the Gwadar port, and thereafter through rail or road network the transit to Xinjiang province at Kasgar can be made, and this will be only 2000 kilometer route. So it is going to be the shortest route for China to reach out to Western Chinese region. From here they can use their own railway roadways network to distribute the goods or materials to throughout Chinese other regions, and this transit routes which were earlier being used to move the goods and the other things to and from the interior of China, Western China, to the ports of Beijing or Shanghai or Hong Kong, this was also a longer route, and this was adding to this 12,900 kilometer route. However, this will get reduced again, so it will be very beneficial for Chinese commerce and economic activities, right? Thereafter, the strategic importance, likewise we have discussed that this passes through the region which are closer to the Indian border, so it will become a threat to the Indian system, Indian national security, and for that matter China will get an advantage along with Pakistan. And as we know that China is already developing various railways and roadways networks along the northern borders of India, also in the Tibet region. And if the Chinese government makes this CPEC project functional, then it will encircle the whole India in the north, as well as they are trying to develop the string of pearl in the south. So India will get encircled by China throughout in every direction, and it will become a threat for India, and this will give an strategic advantage to China. So for that matter also, China is trying to develop this CPEC project. Next is the mineral resources. Western Chinese region is a depository of the rare earth materials which are used for making the batteries, lithium ion batteries, etc., solar power panels. So various rare earth materials are available in the Western Chinese region, which are exported to different parts of the world. So the evacuation of those minerals will become easier for the Chinese, and for that matter they were trying to develop this project. Next is the economic importance of this region. So here what happens, this project will increase the economic activity in the Western Chinese region where the development is very low. So it will ensure the development of the Western Chinese region, and through that they will develop their economic activity in this region, and it will ensure the greater amount of income to the Chinese economy. So this was again a region. However, what happens here, there are issues in two major regions through which the CPEC project passes. One is POK region and another one is the Baluchistan region, which are in news time and again. So first of all, first issue is from India, that it passes through Indian territory and India is protesting against it, and India is quite vocal against it. India is saying that it is against our territorial integrity, right? Next is land alienation. Many of the local people of the Pak occupied Kashmir are accusing the Chinese government and the Pakistani army that their land is being grabbed by the project authorities, and the Chinese army and the Pakistani army, Chinese officials are also grabbing the land, and for that matter they are relocating the people from the Punjab and Sindh region to the POK region to change the demography of the region. आप लोगों ने एक वीडियो भी देखा होगा, एक वीडियो आया था जिसमें कि लोकल पीओके पीपल कहते हैं क्या तुम्हारे बाप की जमीन है, क्यों ले लोगे हमारी जमीन, क्यों जाएं हम यहाँ से. सो दैट इज द सिचुएशन. फॉर दैट मैटर द लोकल पॉपुलेशन ऑफ द पीओके रीजन इज accusing the Pakistani government as the Chinese government also. Next is for displacement. Many of the local people are being forced to relocate from the POK region so that they can get the land for the project, because along with the red route and the road route, they are developing the industrial areas also, and for that matter they need huge amount of land, and for that matter they need to displace the local people from there, and that is causing the damage to the local people. Their demography is getting changed and they are forced to relocate in those regions where there is not that much of availability of livelihood avenues or better living conditions. So various issues are there, as well as the people are emotionally attached to their native land, so they don't want to get displaced from there. So these are the issues. Next is intrusion of the outsiders. Mainly the Punjab and Sindh region people are purchasing the land in the POK region, so the intrusion of outsiders is there and they are grabbing most of the economic opportunities available in this region. So for that matter also the local people of the POK are protesting. Next is army's tyranny. Whenever a person does not want to get relocated, does not want to give their land for the project or any other issues, or they protest against the activities or the overpowering of the Chinese activities, so they are getting thrashed, brutalized, beaten by the army people. and even sometimes they get killed also. So such kind of army tyranny is going over there by the Pakistan army, and for that matter also the people are protesting against CPEC and Pakistan. Next is misbehavior by the Chinese people. The Chinese officials does not value the Pakistani officials even. So what are the local population in front of them? Why they will give any kind of respect to them? So even though don't go on to respect the Chinese police or Pakistani police, Pakistani army, किसी को इज्जत नहीं देते हैं, right? So that is the next thing. And there is loss of livelihood. All these issues are causing the loss of livelihood for the people of POK. So what are the demands of the people of POK? So the POK people are first of all demanding is stop the land grabbing. We are not going to give our land. So first demand is that. Thereafter they say that we need the participation in the governance of POK. We are the local population, so we should have some kind of say in the governance of the region. Every decision is being made from Islamabad, which is not good. Our lives will be governed by our terms and conditions, not the terms and conditions which are being dictated from Islamabad. And that too, those Islamabad terms and conditions are formulated at Beijing, right? So that is the issue. Political right is not over there. Many of the politicians are being confined. Many of them flee off from there because of the threat from the Pakistani army and other issues. So again, that is a case. Next is no forced displacement. They say that there should be no forced displacement of the local people, as well as they say that stop the tyranny from the army. Army should not go on to thrash the people, beat the people, illegally confine the people, arrest the people, and even गायब भी कर देते हैं कभी कभी, right? And in the extreme case, the people of POK had made a demand around 3 to 4 days ago that they should get independence. And they say that we want to live with India, we don't want to live with Pakistan, so leave us alone, we want to get merged with India. And the highway that passes from Kargil to Baltis region to Gilgit-Baltistan should be opened, and the Baltis from both the sides should come together. They are divided through the LAC, so the LAC should be removed and the POK should be merged with India. So this is the extreme demand being made by the people of POK. Right, next come to the issues with Balochistan. And this region is facing the major unrest nowadays because of the tyranny of the Chinese officials as well as the Pakistani army. So here what is going on? First of all, historically Balochistan was not part of Pakistan, but after Pakistan came into existence, thereafter they had established their authority. The Pakistani government had established their authority over Balochistan and they merged Balochistan into Pakistan. But earlier, during the British rule, Balochistan was not part of the British India, right? So first thing was that. Next is tyranny of the army. Same thing is that the people are getting beaten, brutalized, confined illegally, house arrest, and even murdered in some cases. They are getting fired upon, and the protests are not allowed. Even in the protests, the army goes on to do the lathi charge or go on to fire on the people. So such kind of things are getting over there. Next is land alienation. So here again what happens for the project, for the development of the Gwadar port, for the development of the industries, for the establishment of the Chinese colonies. Intrusion of Chinese is also going on over there because that is a port where there will be major economic activities, and most of the economic activities have got usurped by the Chinese people itself. And for that matter, The land alienation is going on over there. The many of the Baltis people, Baluchistani people, are getting evicted from their land, and their land is getting transferred to the Chinese authorities for the development of project, for the establishment of Chinese residential area or various other activities. So again, this is a issue. Next is fishing. So here the fishing is again a big issue for the Baluchistani people, because this was the traditional source of their livelihood. Most of the Baluchistani people were generating their livelihood from the fishing activity, but after the intrusion of China, big trawlers are being used by the Chinese to do the fishing work, and because of that the average catch by the small fishermen have got reduced to a great extent, because most of the fish are being catched by the Chinese trawlers, mechanized trawlers. However, the fishing work that was being done by the Baluchistani people was of traditional style. As well as the Chinese authorities are restricting the local people to go into the sea. They have imposed various restrictions on them, like licensing, custom, etc. Various other things have got imposed over them, and because of that, what happens, the local people are unable to go to the sea for doing the fishing work and other things, and because of that their livelihood has got compromised. Now there is no political rights. Many of the Baluchistani people, Baluchistani leaders have fled off from Baluchistan. Many of them are living into UK, America, and go on to address the press conference and various other things from there itself, because they fear that the army will kill them if they get back to Baluchistan. They will get arrested, illegally kidnapped, or whatever it is. So various threats are there for their life, and because of that their political rights have got compromised. So the people are saying that we don't have the political right, we don't have the freedom of speech, we don't have the right to protest. So what kind of thing is going on over there? So again, this is a issue. Suppression is going on whenever there are protests. Then what happens? The people protests are getting suppressed by the army, and the people are getting arrested, getting fired upon. Various things are going on there. Forced confinement is also over there, and the kidnappings, as we have discussed in the political issues. And there is continuous unrest. Many of the Baluchistani people are nowadays answering the Chinese authorities and the Pakistani army through violence. They are showing off their resentment through bomb blasts, firing on the army officials, kidnapping the army officials, firing upon the Chinese workers, bomb blasting the Chinese workers. So they are nowadays showing off their resentment through violence, and there is complete situation of unrest and chaos. And this is causing a great dent to the CPEC project, and I am wishing that this should fail, right? Next is demand of the Baluchs. What is the demand of the Baluchs? So first of all, the Baluchis are demanding the political independence. They say that we should get the independence from Pakistan, and this is the extreme step, right? Next is political rights. None of the political leaders should get arrested illegally or get confined or get kidnapped. So such kind of political rights, right to protest, etc. should be there. Next is land rights. There should be no alienation of land. Fishing rights, because this is the major source of livelihood for them. So they say that we should be allowed to go to the sea for doing the fishing work and generating our livelihood. So again, किसी के खाने पे ही आफत आ जाए तो वो छोड़ेगा नहीं, सीधी सी बात है. And that is the thing what is happening over there in Baluchistan. Their traditional source of income has got compromised, and for that matter they are protesting with a great force, right? Next, termination of the Chinese project. They say that the Chinese project should be cancelled and the Chinese people should be thrown out of the Balochistan region. So this is again an extreme step. Next is action on the army officials involved in the violence, which is not going to happen. गवर्नमेंट की आर्मी सुनती ही नहीं है पाकिस्तान की, तो बलूचिस की सुनेगी. एंड हु इज गोइंग टू टेक द एक्शन ऑन द आर्मी ऑफिशियल्स? Because the army officials of Pakistan are taking action on the Pakistani government. They threw off the prime minister of that country, Imran Khan, and brought their new puppet prime minister. So who is going to punish the army for their violent activities, for unlawful activities? So this is completely illogical and daydreaming in case of Pakistan, right? So these are the issues with the CPEC project, and because of which the CPEC project is bound to fail, and we are also wishing that the CPEC project should fail, because that is a threat to the Indian territorial integrity, and so for that matter the CPEC project should fail, right? So these are the issues which are hindering the development of CPEC project, proper functioning of the CPEC project. And for such informative videos, please do subscribe our channel and press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload new videos. Please follow us on our Facebook and Instagram handles. This is our Telegram channel, from where you can get various notes, informative videos, audios, etc., whatever it is. And please do download our app from the Google Play Store. There are going on various free and the paid courses. Test series are available, which are free as well as paid. So whatever you think that is going to be beneficial for your preparation, you can get over there, right? So after all this, thank you very much and have a nice day.